From a black background, two teal canes crossing behind a pink atom flicker on in neon light. To the right, white words stack vertically, blind over matter. The words and logo fade to black. Alright, we're taking it just a little old school, no fancy mic, no crazy tripod or anything like that. It's time for a plant update, and man, I'm trying to make some changes in the plant collection. We'll talk a little bit about those. Some are doing well, some are maybe not. So let's hop into it and check it out. All right, we're gonna kick off with a bit of a sad story here. This is my crazy Dracaena, who I've had for several years. Got it for like $6 at a little garden shop here, and we had some people doing some repairs on our roof. And I don't know if a tool fell off the roof or somebody, I don't know, threw something. I have no idea. But literally, essentially the head of this plant got completely chopped off. So I had to go and make a clean cut. We now have three nubs, three little branches, if I can get my hair out of the way here. So there's three little prospective places where we'll get some leaves. Problem is, it's not the beginning of August, and this guy's got to really push out some good growth in the next month, because when I bring it in for the fall and the winter, he's going to struggle. And he, last year when I brought it in the fall, we lost a few leaves, and I'm assuming the same will happen this year. So we'll see what happens with this guy. Next is the ZZ. This guy is always really happy to be outside, and this year is certainly no exception. These stems on the bottom have really gotten a lot thicker. The rhizomes are pretty thick. Got some good rain today. This guy's very content with the whole outdoor arrangement. Definitely struggled in the winter, and I don't remember what ended up solving the problem more than I thought it would. If it was just a question of water, if it's fertilizer or light, it was getting really thin, and I did something different that helped, but now I don't know what it was. So hopefully we don't have to do trial 2, but that is the ZZ. Up on top here, I have a snake plant. Actually, I think I intended to give him away. I've been downsizing a few plants. The giant spider plant is gone, and something else is gone, and I don't even remember what it was. I think it was a smaller ZZ cutting that I had rooted out or something like that. There's a local Facebook group that give things away, and I've been utilizing that because I've been getting rid of some plants. So, yep, snake plant there. And then we have the Dracaena. I think it's a lemon lime, if I remember right. It's either a lemon lime or lime light. I say it every time I do these updates. And the downside of him being under this awning at the front of our house here is that he's gotten pretty dusty. So I actually might scoot him out, because I think we're maybe going to get some more rain tonight. So I might scoot him so that he gets a bit of a bath. But very, very healthy, good growth coming out of the top here. My Australian Shepherd does not like the fact that I am out here and talking, but I'm not talking to her. So now that is the outdoor plants. I don't have as much outside this year, in part because I am downsizing the amount of plants that I have, and then also I don't have as many plants. So what I do have is mostly upstairs. We'll make one stop along the way, and we'll head up into the studio space. All right, here's our pit stop just on our landing here. We have the ZZ Raven, which still isn't doing very good. I don't really understand why. I did repot it, I think, maybe early in the spring. They're separate plants. And he's got some new growth, but it's kind of scrappy and strappy looking. I don't really know what the deal is. And then this guy is a Dracaena, and he is falling over. I just switched him into a new pot, and the cats, as you may have heard there, occasionally bonk this. So until it really gets firm in there, I'm gonna have to get something to prop him up, because he doesn't even want to stand straight up at the moment. So to be continued, but that is a Dracaena Lisa and a cattail for you. All right, a lot of these guys quite literally just got repotted over the weekend, and This is one of them. This is a Dieffenbachia, or a dumb cane, so called because the sap inside here, if you were to put it into your mouth, it would make your tongue swell up and you wouldn't be able to talk anymore. So there's that. That's why this room is closed to animals. None of mine are particularly curious about this plant, so that's good, but just to be extra safe, I have kept him out of the way of the creatures. Pretty healthy growth, not very quick, but very interesting, very large, crazy leaves, kind of brown tips here. Specifically, I don't know if that's just a light thing, a humidity thing. He's been in a few different places around the room, and seems to be fairly content a little bit away from the windows, and growing decently. I'm just hoping that maybe this slightly larger pot will encourage his roots to grow a little bit faster. I got this pot, I think at just Walmart. I like to find pots that have interesting tactile elements because I'm blind, so this one's got these kind of wave designs, and I think the top part is like a lighter blue, and then the main pot in the bottom is darker, so kind of a fun design. I'm no interior designer, as you will find out throughout this madness, but anywho, next this is going to be the new Maine mother corn plant, and he's in a very similar situation to his small Dracaena counterpart that I had a bit ago there, where he doesn't want to be straight standing up yet, but he just got into this pot again over the weekend, and it's now Tuesday night as I record this, so got some work to do, but that's okay. These will get very woody stems as they grow, and I really love structural plants, and that's, as I'm downsizing, these are the types of things I'm keeping, are the structural kind of cane-like, tree-like plants. I have to be very careful what I grow, because in Minnesota, we get pretty harsh winters, and you need to do a lot more with caring for them in terms of like indoor lighting, and really keeping on top of how much you water, and specifically how much you don't in the winter with a lot of these. I don't know what you'd even call them. They're not tropical, but they're not deserty either. They're kind of, is that not temperate? I don't know. It's, you know, a lot of these plants are native to Asia, and kind of that, I don't know, monsoon seasons and then dry seasons kind of climates. I don't know the technical terms, but that's this guy. He's a corn plant. He is rocking and rolling just fine. And the next guy, and actually he is the small corn plant, because the next guy is the big corn plant. Now, what's cool about this dude is this pot here actually was from a neighbor a few places down the street. Literally just had it out on the curb like a, you know, take it and do with it what you will. And so this is the big corn plant, and unfortunately the corn plant that you may have seen in other updates, I don't know if it got like stem rot. It was at the top and it was turning brown, and not aggressively quickly, but very consistently was turning brown and kind of getting mushy. And so before that had a chance to make its way to any other part of the plant, I decided to take a more decisive cut of each of the branches of that plant. And what you ended up with is two corn plants. This was the larger of the two branches, which is now certainly rooted. I'm just trying to get it. I really want it to stand straight up. And I'll work on that as they, you know, come into being in this pot. Once he is still, he will be, I think, pretty content in this pot for a good length of time. Like I said, I love that these end up with this kind of wooded stem, and they have these really nice leaves with, I think these have some lines in them. I really like these plants. They're not the fanciest. They're not, you know, variegated or anything like that, but especially in the kind of studio space that I'm creating, I really like them and intend on keeping one of these eventually, hopefully like year-round in here as a big tree. So originally that was my plan for my Dracaena, but he's going to have to stay outside for a while. And then next we'll hop over to the shelf over here, and we'll take a look at a few plants that I've got going here. First among is this jade that I've been kind of practicing my pruning and things. Fairly healthy overall. I could probably do with water somewhat soon, but lots of branches. I've just been kind of clipping them and trying to encourage some growth. I'm not good at this, but this is kind of my practice tree. And he's doing fairly well. So that is the jade. I had a spider plant, like a plantlet up here as well in this pot, which unfortunately died. So there's a leaf left on the top, but that has perished. Unfortunately, the reality of plants, sometimes they die. I was trying to keep one more piece of that spider plant that I gave away, but it was not to be. And that's, you know what, it happens in the plant world. And then up on the top here, kind of going with my tree-like aesthetic, but also not. This is the ponytail palm. Very contented to be right up on top. This is a west-facing window, so it's a good amount of afternoon sun. The elephant's foot down here, or the base, is pretty good sized here, and definitely has been growing more in this last year or so than I think I've seen in most of the other years I've had this guy. So honestly, that is a look at the plant situations. Like I said, I am getting rid of a few plants. Most of what I have in here will stay. The ones I'm debating right now, finding new homes for, would be the ZZ Raven, because I'm sure that someone might be able to repot those in groups or something and maybe give them a better home. And then that snake plant, I just don't have, it's not as exciting as I bonk into my lights in here. Yeah, that's where we're at. Get you a look at the newly potted guys here. And nice pull in the way, because I'm professional. I appreciate you guys checking this one out. If you have any questions about any specific plants, I'd be happy to answer them down below. I've made a few videos about like how I care for them as a blind person, that sort of deal. But if you have any specific questions, I'm happy to do what I can to keep you in the loop. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you soon. Peace.